Well, welcome to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. I admit I'm a little off my feed right now. That's why I didn't. Actually, I did shoot a video for Memorial Day, but too much of politics bled into it after I rewatched it, and I'm trying to stay away from that. But as a recap, this hat belonged to my late father, who served in the Navy during WW2. And we honor those men and women who basically gave just about everything, including their lives, so we could basically have what we have today. And like I said, it got too much fucking rhetoric about an asshole who basically called fucking GI suckers and losers and asked what's in it for them. And then I have his idiot son, the special needs Trump, talking about how much the Trump family has done for America. Fuck you. Double fuck you, okay? But anyway, let's revisit a film sort of about the Vietnam War, kind of a strange little film that was shot in the Philippines called The Losers, starring Wiilliam Smith, Bernie Hamilton, Paul Koslo, Eugene Cornelius. Who the hell else was in there? Houston Savage. And of course, Vic Diaz, because any film shot in the Philippines, there must be a clause in the Filipino movie shooting handbook that Vic has to be in every film. This one, he's a mechanic. So anyway, the premise is, the funny part is, this thing was run on late night TV once, and it basically says that 5 Hells Angels are recruited by the CIA to go to Cambodia to rescue a presidential advisor who one of them, the main character, Link, has history with. So, it keeps saying Hells Angels, but they're really the Devil's Advocates, and in all the ads it says the Hells Angels. They just couldn't say bikers, I guess, or something, and I'm wondering why the Hells Angels didn't sue them like they did Corman at one point. But anyway, they gotta get this presidential advisor out of Cambodia. And the 5 obviously are Vietnam veterans who were there before. And Limpy is played by Paul Koslo. Link is the lead, played by Wiilliam Smith. Adam Rourke is another character. And Dirty Denny is Houston Savage. And Speed is Eugene Cornelius. The Adam Rourke character had a girlfriend that he came back to get. And that is the first tragic death of the film, when they get attacked by the VC and killed. Blown off a bridge and gunned down in the water. The rest of them get these tricked out bikes, and there's some love interests going on. Actually, Dirty Denny owned part of a whorehouse and was back to collect. Limpy fell in love with a girl who basically had a child by their now commanding officer, Bernie Hamilton. So then there's this climactic thing where all these tricked out bikes go in to save this advisor, who, after they get him out, says he's there to do something, and they just messed it all up. Basically, now they're down to 3 bikers because Dirty Denny got killed. So then they do a breakout and try to take him with them, and basically, unfortunately, all of them get killed in very gory fucking ways. There's a lot of shoot-ups, there's a lot of blowing up, and the CIA guy goes, well, we got to go back to Washington so I can straighten this out. Basically, any character you liked is dead in this thing, so it's another 70s downbeat ending. This thing was distributed by Fanfare, and produced by Joe Solomon, who there's not too much out there on good old Joe, but he did a bunch of biker stuff, Run Angel Run, Angels from Hell, and Werewolves on Wheels, and a few other things. This was also directed by a guy who specialized in biker films at one point, Jack Starrett, who you might remember as Gabby Johnson in Blazing Saddles. A lot of guys were it's kind of strange in the late 60s or early 70s that a lot of guys were making the trip to Italy, like Lee Van Cleef, Lionel Stander, Jack Betts, and others, to do spaghetti westerns and Euro crime films. The other side of the coin was guys like Wiilliam Smith, and a few other guys. What was the other guy? John Garwood. He did a lot of this stuff. Matter of fact, him and Wiilliam Smith co-starred in that other film I talked about, Taste of Hell. So a lot of guys went over there and, shot films in the Philippines. So it was just a weird, immigration out of the States to different countries to shoot different stuff. And there is a backstory to this. And this was told in an interview with Paul Koslo, that the cast was invited to a state dinner with, the high mucky mucks and generals in the Philippines and things like that. Houston Savage, who played Dirty Denny, proceeded to get shit-faced drunk and call his hosts a bunch of fucking gooks. William Smith noticed that Houston was sort of escorted out a side door by a bunch of guys, and Smith followed them and was basically broke up an execution because they had Houston on the ground, on his knees, and one guy standing behind him ready to blow his head off. Smith basically intervened and saved his life. Houston didn't last too well. I think he did one other thing before he basically got killed in a biker accident, I guess, at age 32. Smith, Koslo, and the others had, long careers as character actors and stuff like that. This was put out, I think VCI put it out, but it's now on, if you want to check it out, it's on Tubi with Shout Factory TV. The action scenes are pretty good. A lot of innocent people get shot down in the whole thing too. It's kind of weird. Like I said, a lot of these 70s films had some really downbeat ending, and like I said, all the sympathetic characters you have come to like are gone by the end of the film. So, that's our show for today. We are putting the finishing touches on a whole bag of crazy part deuce. One last toke. There's going to be a lot of pictures put in this one. That's sort of like what's taking up a lot of time because Lorraine is doing that. And over the holiday weekend, I also had a meeting with my partner, John Schatzer, and we're going to keep Grindhouse Resurrection going in its current form. We're going to try to work it out. We're going to try to use the same publisher and, self-publish ourselves because really, fuck Amazon, bubble fuck Amazon. And we're going to keep it going. So that's all good news. So again, I apologize for not doing anything on Memorial Day, but like I said, I'm a bit feeling under the weather and there's too much politics creeping into this stuff. We should respect and honor our servicemen and women, and they should be taken care of because they took care of us. So on that note, thanks for subscribing, thanks for tuning in. Above all, stay safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.